Good night to all. We are live. This is Dane for Entrepreneurs. Just getting everything situated in the back, of course, as always.
Need a picture on the dresser. I knew you weren't ready when I met you. You say you gon' leave, but I won't sweat you. My mind been made up. Plenty times I swear I could've gave up. Plenty times inside I'm hurt but play tough. Every time you give up on me, I be calling back like we done made up. I just wanna meet whoever made love, cause it hurt, and it's weird. Hey, baby, I need you to be here. Be my friend, hold my hand. Will you forgive all my sins? I probably never fall in love again. I sat in that tub again. I had thoughts to slit my wrist, but then I knew that you'd be pissed I didn't. What's the point of me living if it's the way that I'll be feeling? Why won't you stay? I just don't get it. Yeah. Need a picture on the dresser. I knew you weren't ready when I met you. You say you gon' leave, but I won't sweat you. My mind been made up. Plenty times I swear I could've gave up. Plenty times inside I'm hurt but play tough. Every time you give up on me, I be calling back like we done made up. I just wanna meet whoever made love, cause it hurt, and it's weird. Hey, baby, I need you to be here. Be my friend, hold my hand. Will you forgive all my sins? I probably never fall in love again. I sat in that tub again. I had thoughts to slit my wrist, but then I knew that you'd be pissed I didn't. What's the point of me living?
What's going on with y'all tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Jamisha, Egypt, Stoner, Flower, Ebony. I see you down there. Les, Greg, Tabay. Let me get that echo out. Lakendra, what's up? How y'all doing? Shout out to everybody on the stream as
What's
well.
good, Pillar?
I'm cooling. Cooling. You know, it's Dane for Entrepreneurs as we do it
Hello.
every Tuesday and Wednesday night. What's up, Jamisha? How are you? What's up, my peoples? Y'all coming up on stage or what? What's happening? How y'all doing? Yeah, this is where we have some great conversation, great dialogue, to get some comprehension. We ain't here to argue and fight nobody down for for their beliefs and how they feel. What up, Flower? What's happening? I'm here. Um, with that being said, the rest of my team is gonna come in this view.
Hello,
But
Pilar. Hello, everyone.
what's happening? Well, we was having a great dialogue the other night, and it just struck me to have this conversation about the age gap and why females or women queens like to date you know um men men older than them. And
You're pretty low, Pilar. I can't hear you.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, y'all. There's a
You're
cer-
pretty low.
there's a certain sentence that I have to have. Yeah, it's on music, so you should be able to hear me.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, so it's about age gap. We're gonna start it right there. That's my question. Why women like to date older and men like to date younger. Um, how y'all feel about that on the stage?
Could you repeat? You said when.
Age gaps. We was talking about women like to date older and men like to date younger.
Oh, yeah. I think for myself, that's true. I'd like to date older,
Some context behind that.
but I'm considering dating younger actually these days because my way has not been working for me, obviously.
Hmm. So what would you find? What are you gonna be looking for in a younger man? Though that's what I'm trying to find out.
Oh! You said, what would I find in them?
Yeah, that you didn't find in an older
I
man.
think a willingness to learn and lead. And I think that in older men, it's just the willingness to lead, but not necessarily learn. And that is a problem because of the age gap sometimes, you know?
Hmm. I hear that. Sugar, what's going on? We talking about age gaps. And we talking
What's
about
up, Pilar?
what happened?
I said, "What's up, Pilar?"
What's happening, sugar? Everything all right with you?
It's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I depends on the gentleman. My preference is younger. By me being an older woman, I like younger because I still can live through uh, through experiences with a younger guy. Of course, he has to have a mature mindset and be open to doing things and be open to sharing. But I like adventures and older guys, although they may be more stable and more fluent and more experienced. A lot of them are set in their ways and they don't like doing anything. And if they do venture out, maybe traveling, or maybe you can talk them into trying a new adventure, they just don't want to sit on the sidelines and not partake. And with a younger guy, I mean, he's probably not been a lot of places, or he's probably not done a lot of things, or you can relive things through him, and also use his youth because a younger guy is going to make an older woman younger. And I'm complete.
I missed that last part. A younger guy gonna do what?
Make an older woman younger. She can live through his youth.
Oh.
I agree. I like that, sugar.
Egypt, let me hear what you gonna say about this, King.
Bro, that's crazy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, how you feel, Flower? What's up, Flower? How you feel about this age gap thing? How much older would you date? How much younger would you date?
Yeah, I would prefer younger. I'm on the page with sugar. Um, just to not much younger, but at least one that's willing to do experience some different things, and I can enjoy that experience with them. Older men seem more set in their ways and kind of you know not wanting to learn, like the previous speakers I mentioned. So yeah, I I like about my age, maybe a few years younger would be cool. I
Mm,
land there.
mm, I respect that. For me, I feel like I'm mid range. I could go higher, I could go lower. It don't really matter to me. I'm giving licks everywhere. Um, I won't go as
Yeah,
I won't go. Hold on. I think I
full experience.
huh?
I want to feel young when I'm young. I want to feel, you know, a little older when I'm a little older. When I'm old, I want to feel old when I'm old. You get what I'm saying? Can't be young forever. That's just me. My opinion.
Somebody said, "What's older though? What they call older though?" Won't
I
answer that.
call older where it's just wiser. We can sit down. Now we don't do partying anymore. We can sit and be able to watch the sunset. If we do take vacations, we're just there to go and relax. We're not there to go and party or anything. We're just there to go and enjoy life and watch life, continue going as we're slowly, leaving time. That's how I look at it. I love that. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I can't feel young forever. You get what I'm saying? I could do it, I could eat right and all of that, but at the same time, it's like that's not the experience. The experience is the beautiful thing to me is that when you're young, you get to do so much. You have the innocence. When you get a little older now, you have to be careful. But then at the same time, you're still kind of young, wild, and free. But when you get older, you just want to go and enjoy and watch life, and then really, love it for what it is instead of for what you're trying to make it. You get what I'm saying?
I respect that. I definitely respect that. How y'all feel about that, Queens?
Well, I personally feel like it doesn't have anything to do with age. It's more of like a maturity issue. You know, age is a number that we attach to show it's a significance. That's why we have age. But in reality, there's a lot of adults that are males that are older in age, but they're for some reason their growth got stunted. So I personally when I said earlier about I feel like and every woman has said it that older men they get stuck and set in their ways. To be quite honest, we all should be we if we have never learned everything, so we all should be in a state of continuous learning anyway. And when you meet someone and they don't have that going on, it's can be challenging.
Mm.
And that's at any age. Like you can meet a young person who thinks they know everything and won't listen, or it doesn't matter about age, it's about maturity.
Mm.
I have to agree with that. Is it Jamisha?
Yes, Jamisha, yes.
I have to agree with you, girl. It is a maturity thing. Um, and it's not necessarily running around partying and hanging out here and hanging out there and doing all that. It's about enjoying the nice, finer things in life. A beautiful spot, private islands, yachts, you know, chilling, watching sunsets, sunrises. I mean,
But can I
it's
say
about
something though?
living
Can I say
and
something though?
enjoying.
Younger men uh, uh counted out. We are more likely counted out. Y'all look to date the older men. Um, and as you said, it is about just enjoying yourself. It is about the mind state and where that person is at. But for some reason, women just count younger men out as y'all look at us as we're sitting down playing Xbox and PS5 or some shit like that. Like we playing
What
Call of
y'all
Duty.
do, Pilar?
I'm saying there's older men that do that. What's the difference? What's the difference from a 21-year-old man sitting there playing Xbox and a 50-year-old man playing Xbox? What's the
The
difference?
difference
You
is
telling me you never seen a 50-year-old sitting at home playing Xbox?
I have, but the difference is the the 20 year 21 is too young. Ain't nobody on this floor finna be messing with no 21-year-old. Um, realistically, I'd say maybe 35, 32, 35 at on the low end, up to maybe about 50. But a 21-year-old ain't got no nothing. He's still trying to figure out how to clean his tail right. Um,
So you saying right
somebody
now that
wants,
a 21-year-old you just count him out just like that?
yeah, the 21-year-old, hell yeah, if he can be my
Yeah,
son,
break it down. Break
absolutely.
it down. Tell me when a man is actually worth looking at. Tell me, because that's what you're trying to do right now. Tell me. So 21, you're
I
not worth it
say
right now. Keep going.
no, no, not 21. I say about 32 to maybe 35. He's been in the game a little bit, and he's got his footing, and he's going into a direction. He has some plans, he has some goals, he has aspirations, and he kind of has a gauge on what he wants in life. Now he's in the business of
So man,
living
so you got from
what those goals
35.
are.
This is when this start. This is what you're saying. So before 35, he's not worth looking at seriously.
No, no. If you want yourself a toy friend, then get you one of them. Really, Pilar?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. What else a 21-year-old gonna bring to the table besides some dick?
So,
You'd be surprised. I'm not saying there's a lot of 21s out there that are actually knowing themselves and know what they want in life, but there's a little good amount of 21-year-olds that actually know what they want in life. Some of them, believe it or not, they've had a rough life growing up and they had to become an adult at the age of 13.
Well, that's true, but you don't see those. You don't see them very often. Those are anomalies, unicorns.
Nah,
so
you know
how
what it
often do you
is?
think a man sees a good woman though? Like You think good women is just walking up and down the street like that?
No, actually, they at home, in front of the TV, minding their business.
So what is a good so a good 21-year-old, he's not playing PS5.
A 21-year-old, yes, he's playing PS5 every freaking chance he gets.
But he's not yeah, I can't believe you said
Am
that
I am I
today.
am I gonna categorize him as mate material? No, I already told you, Pilar, that's gonna be a toy friend.
Well, see, I can't
Wow.
interject. I don't. If my man was at home playing Xbox, that'd be fine as long as he's working, he's stable. I'd rather him be home playing Xbox and out roaming the streets. And yeah, that's my thing.
Now that's respect right there, because real shit, if a man ain't playing no video games and he outside, he's being tempted 24/7 when he's outside. You really don't know. So if he's actually choosing to go and be on a video game, it's not because of no child shit. It's because he don't want to be bothered with the world and he already happy with what he got. And he just gonna sit there and enjoy himself. Everybody gonna enjoy themselves in different ways. Some people go and sit in front of the mirror to go and put on makeup. Some people go and play video games. Everybody have their preference.
Yo, this is crazy. Sugar. That's a whole nother conversation. I can't believe a man cannot be taken seriously before the age of 35. This is what's going on. Keisha, what's going on with you, Queen? Good night to you. How you doing? Hope you had a wonderful, productive day. Welcome to the stage. You gonna unmute? All right. So with that being said, how y'all feel about Sugar's statement? Jamisha or Egypt just said what he said.
You know, that's how she choose. That's how she choose. You get what I'm saying? Everybody have their ways to go and make their own mistakes until they start to see the difference and notice. Because there are people that are like 30 something years old, 50 something years old that's still trying to act like they're 20. And then there are 20-year-olds that's literally far beyond that. They're acting mature and everything. They just live their life and enjoy what they enjoy. You get what I'm saying? Like if you consider playing video games, kid, then cool. You get what I'm saying? If you want a man that wants to go and be on the streets all the time, that's cool too. Everybody have their lessons to go and learn. You feel me? Everybody have their mistakes to go and go through so that they could go and pick up on it and be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have thought of it that way. We just got to go through it just so we can learn. That's all.
Well, I am just speaking about me. I'm a 50 plus woman. I ain't gonna have no 21-year-old. My nephews are 21, 22.
So what if you had a
My niece is
50-year-old
30.
man? What if you had a 50-year-old man? He can't play video games?
Oh yeah, he can play video games all he wants to.
Okay.
That's fine. I have no problems with that. Playing the video game is not the issue. The issue is what else are you doing with your life, with your energy, with your force.
Mm.
Well, that's a good question. I could tell you this. When I was 21 years old, I was working 2 jobs, and every time I was off, I was playing video games.
Where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica. I live in Queens.
Exactly. That's a different work, a different mindset, and I agree with you. Their life is very different in Jamaica, very different, and they have to grow up fast, and they have to be responsible, and they have to help out, and they are adults because their life is hard.
All right, I respect that.
That's true.
I respect that.
So, Sugar, I missed it. Did you say under 35 they weren't taken serious? Is that what it was?
Yes, that's exactly
Yes.
what she said.
Okay. So, I can kind of understand to a degree, but in a way that is just a mindset because, like everyone else said, you can meet. I think it's more so what other people think. I mean, that's how I feel about it because you can meet someone who has their ish more together at like I'm 34. So I have my life more together than a lot of other maybe women who are much older than me. I know for a fact. Like, you know what I mean? But like the guy said, because of your age, sometimes I've had this happen to myself. Certain guys, you know, they can't or they won't, but it's more so because of what other people will think. Like, you know what I mean? Because like you said, you got nephews that age, so it would seem some type of way, you know?
Absolutely.
Which is it's I understand. I see it both ways because, like I said, I've been in a similar situation, you know. But it's more of I know we want to be we want to be somewhat acceptable to society in a way, but and I'm kind of glad, like with the celebrities, they are kind of breaking that, especially like the men. They never cared anyway, but like nowadays they're kind of breaking it, like you know, with dating like much younger women because all of what you said earlier, Sugar, about how it brings out different things like the youthfulness and that play energy, you know, because I got a lot of play energy, you know, so it's like, yeah, it's a what is it? Double-edged sword?
Double standard, double edged sword.
Yeah, both.
I hear you. Keisha, I don't know if your mic ready. How you doing, Miss Jess? How you doing? Welcome to the stage, Queen. Dash, I see you down there, King. What's happening? Say how you doing? Welcome to the Being for Entrepreneurs. Aries, I see you here. What's going on? You want to let the people hear your voice?
Good evening, everybody. Still trying to catch up a little jet lag right now, but I'm here with y'all as always. But it's always good to be in this room. Coach, appreciate you creating this safe space and allowing the queens to speak and talk their shit. So I'm here and I'll fit in wherever I can get in. So appreciate it.
All right. So with that, we at men under 35 ain't to be taken serious. If anybody got anything else to say about that, now's the time to do so. We're gonna switch gears.
So
King, what's happening? Oh, go ahead, Aries.
now I was going to say this. I would just say, you know, when we set certain benchmarks, sometimes we can miss the mark of experience, you know, and satisfaction because we put certain delegates on certain situations. I only say that because I remember when I was sub 35 and I remember having conversations. I used to be at this one barbershop where it would turn into after hours and we would have conversations. People go to the liquor store and all these different things. Mind you, I was in my sub 20s. I'm talking about 25, between 25, no, not even 23 to 25. And I would have women 15, 20 years my senior talking to me, having deep conversation. And when they're getting ready to leave, they will say, "Hey, let me get your phone number." Now, mind you, throughout the whole experience, they never thought to ask. But once when I go ahead and start giving them, they say, "How old are you?" And I say, "Excuse me, I'm, you know, 25, 23." But, "Oh no, baby, this ain't gonna work." And it's just like, but you got into this whole space where that didn't matter. But when it came down to it, you made it about everything, which I would just have appreciated it because I started liking it. So sometimes, you know, that which we don't take serious, the person in retrospect might not take you serious because it's like, well, what's really the standard in saying that I'm quality based off of my age rather than the quality that I'm bringing in my intangible? So it's just something to think about.
I totally agree. Who said that, Aries?
Yeah, Aries
I
said
did.
that.
Yeah, that's absolutely great.
All right, with that being said, anybody else got anything to say? Jess, Miss Jess, K Shile? All right, so open it up to y'all. Or y'all want to switch gears? Y'all know dating for entrepreneurs. Each and every Tuesday night, make sure y'all tap into that YouTube channel, the Instagram and the Facebook. Y'all know that we've been going for about 2 years. I think we got about 5.3K followers over here on Clubhouse too. So Yeah, we're doing our shows on Tuesday and Wednesday, so y'all tap in. So so since we on the age and we talking about this kind of stuff, let me ask y'all a question. What has changed in dating in the last 10 years? Just a simple question. I'm gonna start off like
Mhm.
I got a mature crowd, so I'm asking the question, what have changed in the last 10 years?
If I was to wake it up a little bit, matter of fact, I'll
Wake it up, wake it up.
I would say, if I was to wake it up just a little bit, I think it's the the propensity of independence, but still needing companionship. And to me, that's an oxymoron in it of itself. So I think that's what's changed a lot in these last 10 years, in my opinion.
Hey, Pilar.
Go ahead.
What I'm going to say, the last 10 years, the art of communication has went down the drain. People can't hold and connect with a simple conversation. They're unfocused and just don't really have a good idea of how to hold a conversation or get out a complete thought about what they want, what their dreams are, what they're looking for in a mate, or someone to date. So it's the art of communication for me.
Anybody else want to answer that question? It's a good question. Surprised I didn't jumping on that question. What has changed in dating for the last 10 years? Let me see in the chat if anybody got anything to say. There's no communication. Big.
I
Go ahead.
will say yes to what everyone has said already, but also social media, that is a big one. Media, internet, period. All the apps, dating, and just all of that access to anybody, you know, that has really done something for relationships. I mean, it's done good and bad things because on the flip side, people have met through social media, but it just magnetized or it made magnified, like made a bigger issue out of what was already there. Like men that are like cheaters, they just have more access, basically. Not just men, women too. And I think that is a big
So
issue.
so this is what's coming from the people in the audience is that the fact that people are disposable. Nothing is personal anymore. And the swipe left and swipe right, which mean dating apps. Um and exactly what you said, social media. I'm a firm believer that I don't know, I think people are more confused and don't know what they want. And there's so many options out there. Cause, and especially I'm just keeping it real. I know y'all might think it's different because there's more women on the stage, but women have, 100 more times more options than men, especially because of social media. So I think that's one of the big problems there as well. So I'm gonna leave it right there, and then I guess we could go into that conversation right there of and then they said also that because of social media, because of the texting and all of this stuff, it made folks a lot more lazier. So that's the thing that has changed in the last 10 years. That's coming from the people in the audience.
So just for clarity, are you saying that because women have more options, men are more disposable to women than women are to men?
I think that's both ways though at this point. I think it's both
Mhm.
ways. But I'm just saying, keeping it real, women have more options. You get what I'm saying?
No, I definitely get what
Good night to all. Before we jump right into that conversation, because that's I already know that's like a packed one. Good night, Tanika, LaRon, Jana, JB, what's happening? And Yomi No, welcome to the stage. What's happening, y'all? Let me hear y'all voices. Can I hear y'all voices? All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm doing some laundry.
That's what's up.
Asking, listen,
All right. Thank you for sharing the space. JB, you there?
Yeah, what happened? I heard my name. I'm trying to put my headphones
I'm
in.
just
What happened?
greeting you before we get into this conversation.
Oh yeah. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, how everybody doing? I hope everybody did something towards a healthy lifestyle today.
Definitely. Miss Nika, how you doing, Queen? There? You there? Jonna, Miss Jonna, how you doing?
Hi, Pilar. Hi,
Oh,
everyone. I'm so sorry. I don't have a voice. I'm recovering from COVID. So,
all right.
yeah.
LaRon, you there, King? All right. So with that being said, go ahead. We could jump into this conversation. What you was gonna say, Aries?
No, I think when you talk about the options, as far as women having more options, or it's going both ways, being like a 50-50 situation in this day and age. I just think what makes it that way is it that the barometer for quality has lessened itself to where, like, I need more swings at the bat to find me that millionaire mate, or that guy that's gonna believe in hypergamy to the fullest extent, or on the woman's side. And is it the man that's saying, I need more swings at the bat or at the plate, so that way I get that mate that will do what I say, do as I want her to do, and be able to be controlled. So you start to look at those are extremes, but then you start to ask yourself, where do you fall in that line of on one side or the other? But one thing that, like, when you talk about the paradigm shift, I know people throw in the fact that women are making more money than men, or making just as much, or they throw in the fact of, like, social media. But to me, I think the underlying thing is the validation, because if those things like social media plays into my dating scene and how I date, then is it really about quality, or is it really about quantity? And so I think it really gets back to the idea of the person and what their intentions are. Because yeah, they're in this day and age, like me, I travel a lot. I'm in one city literally for 1 week, and I'm going out of the country, and then I come back and I'm here for another week, and I go out. So an app like Bumble would work for me, because I'm not in one city at one time, and it might bring something to me that I would have to necessarily go look through a needle in a haystack. So am I utilizing it as leverage, or am I utilizing it as manipulation? Same thing with my options. Am I really looking at it and I'm dating with intent, and I'm realizing girl 1, 5, and 7 ain't gonna work, but woman 2 is who I really want to spend the most of my time with. So let me try to focus my energy. And I think in this day and age, because it's a microwave society, that plays to and fro against the person who's involved, in my opinion.
That being said, anybody else want to jump in there?
I agree with Aries.
Anybody else? That was definitely a packed question when it comes to what has changed in the last 10 years of dating. Um, when they said social media, as we said, people are disposable. Some of the people said that nothing is taken serious anymore. People got lazy. Do you think people got lazy when it comes to dating because of social media? So then that led into the amount of options that's out there, especially because of social media and dating apps. So that's where we at in the conversation. If anybody like to chime in, go ahead, or we're gonna switch gears. I got a book full of questions now.
Mikey, what's changed in the last 10 years over dating? Welcome to the space.
Social media. Get out that trash can. Social media. Shit, just people, period. Like, everybody just answer, oh, what can you do for me? Instead of trying to build a bond with somebody. People are very selfish. Sierra, come get in your room. Come on. Let's go.
Mm.
I bet y'all dealing with this dog.
I definitely could say that entitlement has changed.
Entitlement for sure.
There's a big
Yes.
entitlement when it comes to the last 10 years of dating that has changed. I'll stick with that and I'll leave it there.
Yeah, a lot of people, male and female, they just be real big entitled. Like, why are you so entitled on what I got going on? Like, it's weird.
What do you mean by that, Mikey? About entitled, about what you have going
So
on?
let's just say, for example, so dating apps are a big thing, right? So let's just say, for example, you match with a guy, he got chopped up. I'm the type of person, you're not gonna get my social media right away because my mom is on my page and my family. So you're not gonna get that right away. So when I mean by entitled, it's like, oh, I gotta give you my social media before we even exchange numbers and stuff like that. Or let's say it's a situation where I asked the guy on the date. It's like, since I asked him on a date, I'm entitled to give him some cuda or whatever. Like, it's little stuff like that that's just ill.
So
Now,
you
when you,
go
can I
ahead, go
ask
ahead.
Mikey something?
Go ahead.
Mikey, when you date, like when you meet people on date sites, do you like video chat with them before you give them your number?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You should be video chatting and be ready to meet them within a week of being on a dating app, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, where's that entitlement that has changed? Anybody else want to jump in there? We're gonna switch gears. All right, so we're switching gears. With that being said, anybody, I'm gonna open it up to anybody have a question, or I'm gonna go back to my book of questions. Dating for
Okay, I have
entrepreneurs.
a question.
Go
I have a
ahead.
question. One out of this pool of different, relationship intangibles, which one's got to go, right? If one's got to go, communication, trust, honesty, or chemistry, which one has got to go?
All right, I just want to repeat what you said. Chemistry, trust, honesty, and loyalty.
No, chemistry, trust, honesty, and communication.
And one has to go.
One has to go.
I'll say chemistry.
I'll say the same thing too. I thought about all of. I could deal with everything. The chemistry. I could deal it. I could deal with it once you honest and you're loyal. You feel me? I could definitely deal with it. That's like the biggest things for me.
So wait, so you're telling me you could be with somebody and you can not have the chemistry with them, but as long as they're honest, communicate, and trustworthy?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
I agree. Chemistry will grow.
Like
Chemistry
you
can
said.
also fade. Chemistry can change. Yeah. So I'm leaving chemistry out. Yeah, chemistry is going to change depending on how that person evolves.
I'm going to go ahead and get my answer. I actually said I need chemistry because there's got to be something that sparks me to want to continue that. And chemistry for me doesn't necessarily mean the eros type of love, right? Or the whole kind of like, oh, because we're just so sexually compatible. I don't think of chemistry just like that. I think it's chemistry like I look at you and I see hope, I see prosperity, I see, opportunity, I see so many different things that you're my muse. That to me is what chemistry really speaks to, right? So for me, if I can do without one, it would be trust. Because if you're going to communicate, I need communication. But if you're honest, if you're always going to be honest with me, I don't have to question who you are. So why do I need don't get me wrong. Trust is, to me, is assurance. It's the insurance of somebody's honesty. But if they're going to be honest with me, why do I need their trust? Why do I need to trust them if every time I ask them a question, they're always honest? I could take it at face value that what they're telling me is what it is. But I need a reason. My why has got to connect to that relationship, and I don't see a why with honesty, trust, and communication. I just think those things at the end of the day are subjectively present if you have chemistry. But that's just my opinion. I'm just me.
I just think because people change, like the chemical makeup, that chemistry can also change. So it's not going to be a constant chemistry there. Like that chemistry can always fade over time. Sometimes it can be even more chemistry than you had, when before you met, but it can also go away. So I feel like at least if you have the other three, that's a constant, then if the chemistry fades, you still have that glue, that bond to keep you together through the communication, the trust, and the honesty. Because chemistry, you may forget who this person is older in life. You know what I mean? So that chemistry just may fade, but you still have that bond, that main foundation of communication, trust, and honesty.
I agree with you, Maya. Yeah, and I would just say that trust is so important because when your stuff comes up, and not their stuff, your stuff comes up, and you question the other person because you're questioning yourself, it's trust that reminds you that we are in a win-win situation here, and that my partner is not my problem. We're here together to solve problems. So without trust, you don't have the foundation to work through things.
But let me ask you this: is trust something that is built 1, 2, 3, just like that, you and me, immediately?
Trust, honestly, it's not just between couples, it's between your friends and your family. Like, you know who you could trust, meaning you know
Absolutely.
who, right? You know who is going to follow through with what you ask them to do or what they say they're going to do, and you know those that may or may not, right? And if they may or may not, it's not trust. So
And
once you have a partner that you can trust, it just frees you to be your full self, to explore yourself, and that may have been
Yeah, we lost you
business
just
till you're
now.
in a relationship.
and I agree with what I was hearing until Cachelle's went into the matrix. But for the ramifications of this room, right? Dating for entrepreneurs, men talk, women listen, or women talk, men listen in these type of these platforms. Of course, yes, there's many platitudes to the whole trust, thing. But my question is, in a relationship between man and woman, is trust the thing that you walk into with it? Is trust that, while it might be the substratum of what makes a foundation solid and unmovable, is it really the first thing that you walk into with the relationship?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think you slowly develop this kind of buildup of trust when you start learning someone and who they are, and when they start opening up and sharing with you who they are. So I think, when you're in that getting to know each other phase, no matter how long it takes, you're building up trust, right? You're building up trust to be vulnerable with each other. However, at the same time, I think you have to go in with some sort of trust, that liking, that getting to know somebody to even start to open up to them, right? To exchange that phone number, to go on that date. So you're trusting them in that way. And then you just build up trust over time. So I think it comes, I think it's kind of twofold. You're learning to trust each other, and then you're also trusting each other enough to get to know each other, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it does, Maya, and I appreciate that. So me looking at your PTR and hearing you in other platforms, I can definitely say that you are an intelligent and beautiful woman, right? So now let's just say I was to approach you, Maya, and I'm talking to you, and you ask me a question, right? And then let's just say in my answer, I lied. What was I? Was I dishonest or did I break your trust?
To me, that you were dishonest.
Right.
Now,
So
if
my
so now if I find out, because I don't necessarily have to find out that you lied, right? You would be able to know you lied. Now, it would depend if I found out you lied, or if you told me, hey, you know what, I'm feeling like really, I was dishonest about something, and I came, I want to come clean. Those are two different scenarios, right? Were you being dishonest and you felt convicted about it, or were you being dishonest and hoping that you wouldn't get found out, but then you got found out? So it depends,
and
I guess, on how you handle it.
absolutely. And to my point though is before we get over the hurdle of trust, there's first the hurdle of honesty. Not and I'm not trying to distort or change what you said, but what I'm saying is that for me, if I'm going to because 70% of communication is nonverbal. So I think we all agree that communication's got to be there. But then in order for me to say, man, Maya's beautiful, and even to the point where I say she's intriguing, though all of that is the makeup, is the anatomy of chemistry, right? These intangibles that become tangible because they are now referenced in the person and the being of you. So I would need some sort of chemistry for me to then want to attract myself to you, to get in a space to talk to you. And if I don't have that, the communication, and at least a basis of honesty, trust will come. I think trust is the long game, but I'll be very honest with you. I'd rather be married to a woman that I know if I ask her a question, she's always going to be honest, right? And she's always going to tell me the truth, to where I don't need trust. I know that her honesty is what really marries her to this commitment of being loyal. Because I think we think loyal is only trust. You know, in order to be loyal to somebody, you have to be trusting to them. But I think loyalty is also always being honest, no matter if you messed up or not. But that's, again, just my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. I will say this, I think it's that, like you said, that's your opinion. And I think, in this space, when you ask women what would they choose? And if several of us said, hey, we would want, the first three and we could deal without the chemistry, then that's the answer from the women, right? It's not about convincing us or trying to show us the way. Like, this is how we as women feel like. We feel like we would want that honesty, the communication and trust over the chemistry. And I think that actually speaks to, like the difference between men and women. There's something chemical that men see, when they see a woman, or, when they're around a woman. And for us, it's more of a feeling. And I think that's where the chemistry versus the other three come in.
I can respect that, Queen, for sure. Right,
Yeah,
Kay. You're breaking up a little bit, Kisha. Yeah, you're breaking up a lot now.
A lot, right? I was going to say, pop locking in the matrix.
Definitely. That was a great question though. Great question. But if anybody else wanted to jump in there, definitely, because I have another question I want to jump into, unless y'all had one.
I hope y'all can hear me because I know I have a poor connection.
Yeah,
But I'll make
now we hear you great.
you hear me. All right, I'll make it real quick. Trust lets us know, can we decision making. Of course, we want people that tell us the truth, but more than just like, are you honest? It's like, what kind of decision? Are you a good decision maker?
You breaking up bad though. I ain't gonna lie to you, Kisha. You breaking up. Trying to get you, but you're
Oh
breaking up.
no.
And I think she's about to say
Okay. All
something
right.
deep too.
That's
So
Kashelle, try taking your Wi-Fi off if you can.
good point, Maya.
yeah. So I took the Wi-Fi off. Is this better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Until it's not again. So, did you guys hear what I said about trust? Did you
No,
guys
start from the beginning if
hear
you
that?
don't mind.
Okay. Trust is really about, as a woman, I'm looking at that man's decision making for himself. I'm looking at, does he drop the ball or does he follow through? That's the importance of trust.
And you know what? I agree, Michelle, and I appreciate that because when you said that, it made me think about what does honesty lack that trust does, and maybe it's not even a lacking. I just think with honesty, there is more need for communication, right? Because me and you communicating, and I'm saying, okay, so what are your thoughts about this? You're always going to because you're honest, you're always going to tell me the truth. But if I don't loop back, right, then essentially there's no need for a check-in or no need for dialogue. So you can continue doing what you're doing. But with trust, it's like I know whether there's communication or no communication, their track record, for lack of a better word, is so consistent that I can trust it. But who's not to say that that one moment of trust doesn't succumb to that person making an emotional decision rather than a more logical decision? And because I don't communicate, but I trust it, I can see the end always being whatever it may be. So I think one requires more of communication, whereas the other one is like we vibe off the same frequency. So whether we talk about it or not, I know they're going to make the best decision for the greater good of us, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. And it seems like trust may be the woman's version of chemistry. Because I think sometimes we let a lot of great guys go because we may not feel immediate chemistry. But if we can trust you, like, and it's a gut feeling, and then it's over time you see if it's really true, right? But it starts with a gut feeling. Is this a trustworthy person? Do they make sound decisions? And then from there you can get to know them and you can grow into other areas. So I think trust is almost like the opposite side of chemistry.
And that's why you hit it on the head to your point. That's why I said, when we were talking about chemistry, we're not talking about the eros or sexual passion. What about that deep friendship, right? What about the playful love, right? What about the agape unconditional or the long-standing pragma love? What about, the philudia love, the love for self? All of that plays into chemistry because to know yourself, you have to know what you want and what you don't want. And I think sometimes we just mitigate it straight to eros. How can you turn me on, make me wet, make me, make blood flow to my pants, all of that. And that's eros, which is part of chemistry. I'm not here to mitigate it out, but there's so many different other ways in which chemistry can spark. That's why I said the word muse, because muse doesn't necessarily mean that I'm out here to try to get you in my bed. Muse might mean like how Josephine was Napoleon Bonaparte's muse. He conquered all of Europe for a woman's love, right? That was his muse, that was his chemistry. So I think depending on how we look at the word, if we look at it from Eros, then I agree with you. But if we look at it from all the other different ways, the pragma, the polluta, the ludus, the agape, and the philia outside of Eros, then I might be open to unpack this a little bit further. But again, it is just all my opinion.
Right, right. And then, like chemistry, sometimes it's pheromones. And pheromones, it doesn't always lead to the bedroom, but even in friendships, sometimes you just feel a connection, feel a camaraderie with the person. But if they drop the ball in their real life, if they make excuses and they're not accountable in their real life, it really doesn't matter if we have pheromones that match together. So I agree with you, and but at the same way, I'm just speaking more about the chemistry versus trust.
I respect. That was a dope conversation. So with that being said, we do only have about 6 more minutes to the room. If anybody have a question, now's the time to do so. Sugar, Miss Jess, Jana, Yomi, Maya, JB. You know,
Yes, sir.
we back here
I'm over here
tomorrow
to get my
night too.
dog.
So, we do this Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Say that again.
I said you be doing this every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. A day for entrepreneurs. So with that, anybody got any last questions? Yeah, I know I'm gonna hit you out with it.
Go ahead, Pills.
No, go ahead. I was gonna hit them with a sound effect. But my thing is, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go. No. You got it, Pills.
Cause you know me, I'm those still corn. Go ahead. Yeah, you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Do women have a standard on a body count from a man? Does you really
Women
do?
have
You,
a standard on a body count?
yeah. Like if he slept with 5 women in the last year or something like that. Does that
I'm
matter to you?
40 plus years old. I don't care.
That part. I was about to say, if she asks me, I just know that's a red flag. Not because of whatever I've done, but it's just like it's a controlling thing. You know, are you here to get to know me or try to control me? You know, so yeah, if I don't care about her, and if she cares about me, then that speaks to a bigger issue. But that's just me.
Well, I wouldn't ask, but I don't really like the easy guy.
But wouldn't you say, Cashel, that his mannerisms would tell you if he's the easy guy? If he's like always talking about, hey, how wet does it get? Or what do you like in the bed? Or you like it if I pull your hair? Wouldn't that almost speak to his body count being indicative or hoping that it ends up being a high ratio to his number?
I mean, even if they know better than to come at you like that, you know, even people that just want to fall in love every month with somebody, you know, just too easy. Like you gotta know what you like and know what you're looking for, and you know, you just don't want that easy guy. Just thinks he loves everybody because if he does, then you know, do you like me genuinely, or is it just, you know, what is it? So I just don't like the easy guy.
I think you can determine how they carry themselves, how they take care of their body, would be a pretty good indicator of how they move in terms of they're very particular about their body, their space, their surroundings. Then they're not just doing everybody, right?
Right.
If they care about, you know, their character, you know, if they carry themselves, you know, of a high moral ground, you know, you can just tell by character, right? Now you can also be fooled by character, right? So I'm not, you know, being naive in that sense, but even the guy who was the player, okay. You're not gonna let me get that one off. Even though the guy that was the player in college that went through the whole dorm, maybe at 40 or 50, maybe even 60, he's a different person. So I don't care what you did in college. We've been out of college for 20 years. Doesn't really interest me. We had some good times and we had some fun times. You had some fun times and we get with your friends and they tell some stories of how you used to be back in the day. Okay, but I know the character and the person who you are now. So that's what I'm going to judge.
Absolutely.
I agree with me, Maya.
All right. Well, with that being said, anybody else? Go
I
ahead.
got a question.
Go ahead.
But go for it. I want whoever wants to speak, please.
Hi, this is Sugar.
Sugar.
Um,
Sugar.
not much. Um, I would say body count doesn't matter. Um, and then it just depends on how the guy's character is, because I mean everybody's young, and some people express themselves in different ways, and you mature and you come out of that and you get a better bearing on life and how to treat people. So the body count really wouldn't matter. Now, if we had a conversation about it, I'd expect
And
them to
this
be
is what I'm gonna say.
honest.
Mm. I'm gonna say it don't matter to me, man. I want you to go through your whole phase, baby. Your body count don't matter. I want you to be a stripper. I want you to listen, go be an escort, go do everything you want to do. Get all of that out. And then come to me, baby. Come to me complete. Tell me when you're done with that, you know what you want. All right. I'm jokingly seriously though.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
I agree with you, Pilar. But they need to be, when they come to you, you want them done with that and healed from that too. So what you did in college is fine, but what you're doing right now, and it just matters. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. I would just listen to the type of person they are. I wouldn't necessarily ask anyone. But you want people that are healed from that, because there are a lot of great guys, have a lot to offer, and so they're going from person to person, and they're carrying a lot of baggage too. Especially if it's happening right now. It's not something from their past. It's something that's still kind of happening, and they're hoping to meet someone wonderful along the way. But they really haven't had time to, to heal and release some of that baggage.
Mhm.
Respect that, queen. So with that being said, anybody else? Yeah, Aries, you got your question?
Oh yeah. I got a question. On a lighter note, how about this? One of these you got to get rid of one of these forever. Okay, one's got to go. Martin, The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or A Different World.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I like Will. Well, I used to like Will Smith, but yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has to go.
What are the options?
The Martin, The Cosby Show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or A Different World. One's got to go forever. Which one is that?
Oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because we got Bel-Air now.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I have to say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has to go.
Damn, Will Smith, you should have never ever slapped Chris Rock, bro.
I mean, it's not about that, Pilar. It's look at the substance of each program.
Damn. My boy should have never slapped Chris Rock. They canceling you, man. They canceling you, bro. He just can't. He got canceled live in Day for Entrepreneur. That's bad. You in the day in Clubhouse, you got canceled, Will Smith.
But I go with the Queens too, bro, because Will was just doofy and goofy. He was just a glorified Geraldo Faldo Ray, from Family Matters. In my opinion, he was just so goofy as a lead role. I just couldn't buy into him. You can't get rid of Martin. You're not getting rid of Dwayne and Whitley. You sure as heck ain't getting rid of the Huxtable family.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a good question, though.
So, I have a question.
Oh, now you got
We
a
love
question.
Dwayne and Whitley.
Go
But
ahead.
did Dwayne and Whitley really have a toxic relationship? Yeah and nay.
I think Whitley was the toxic one in it, but I'm gonna go on mute.
Who you said, Whitney or who?
Whitley, and she asked a very good question. Was Whitley and Dwayne toxic?
Whitney and Dwayne.
Whitley.
Dwayne.
Nah, I'm gonna step out of that.
Yeah, Whitley was the toxic one, but like I said, I'm gonna go on mute.
I mean, they both had a little bit of toxicity.
His mother, Patti LaBelle, was toxic.
It was a mama